All right, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Thank you so much for joining us today. Was able to get on a little bit earlier. I was shooting for 12:30, and it looks like we're on right at 12:34. So perfect. I'm kind of glad to be able to get on a little bit earlier here, so you guys aren't waiting so long for me to get on. So happy to get on early. That way you guys don't have to wait, and we can get right into this topic. Deborah, I see you're already in here. Thank you so much. I should start out by saying Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day to you, Deborah. Alpha X, DHT, thank you so much for joining us today. And I'm really excited about this topic. It's one that, I've done quite a bit of research on, one that I work with a lot of people on, just do consultations. Pretty much all the clients that I work with, we have to deal with nutrition. A lot of them have goals to lose body weight and body fat, and often that includes belly fat. So we're going to get into this. This is a topic that we've touched on a few times in the live chat, but I really want to make sure that we spent a little bit of extra time focusing on these two issues. So thank you, everyone. Like I said, happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you, everyone who already hit the thumbs up button. I'm just seeing we're at 7 likes already, and we're not even a minute and a half into this live stream. So thank you. I hope everyone can hear me already. Larry, thank you so much for joining us. As always, it's always nice to see engagement in the chat. Let me know where you're from. It's always nice to see where people are from as well. So perfect. So like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the best foods to lose weight, and then we'll focus a little bit and specifically on belly fat. Now, some people are going to like the answers, and some people aren't going to be maybe a little disappointed or aren't going to like the answers. But we have to look at the truth, and we have to look at what the literature says. So I'm going to make sure that we cover everything. We'll start right from the beginning, and then immediately, just sort of build right from there. Again, to everyone that's coming in, thank you so much for hitting that like button, and happy Mother's Day to everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the chat today. We had a great one last time. I think we were on for almost 2 hours having a great chat, and that was because you guys were doing such a great job with the engagement, asking great questions, providing input as well. So thank you so much for that. Oh, no problem, Deborah. Thank you for being here. So let's start off a little bit. We'll start with the chat. All right, we'll start with the chat on the best foods to lose weight and the best foods to lose belly fat. Now, a lot of people, and maybe what some people might expect me to say, is there are no best foods to lose weight. There are no best foods to lose belly fat. We'll get into a little bit of that, but there are certain foods that we're going to want to be focusing on that can help us to lose weight and that can help us to lose belly fat, but we're going to put a little bit of a spin on it. Now, let's talk about one thing, all right, that might disappoint a couple people, all right? But again, we have to come from the truth. There's no food that we can eat or drink, all right? It can be like green tea you see all the time, apple cider vinegar. Oh, in California, Larry. All right, perfect. Awesome. Keep it coming, guys. Let me know where you're from. Always love hearing it, and I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear. Let me say it again. There is no food or drink, all right, that we can eat that will specifically target belly fat. It's impossible. It cannot happen. All right. It would be great if it could. Like lemon water is a big one that you'll see out there. I've read a bunch on grapefruit seed extract, apple cider vinegar, green tea, all of the ones you guys have probably heard. Now, can that help increase metabolism? Yes, it can. All right, some of those can help with metabolism. All right, some of those can help give a nice boost to metabolism, but the boost is very negligible. We have to remember that. It's not like we drink lemon water and then we automatically burn 100 calories throughout the day. All right, it might give us a little boost, but we have to make sure that we have our diet tight and we need movement throughout the day. Okay. Oh, we got more California, South Carolina. Awesome. Some West Coast, some East Coast. Awesome to hear, guys. Thank you for letting me know. But I want to make sure that right off the start, right off the bat, that we understand and we know that there's no specific food that can help specifically target belly fat. right? And again, it might help with boosting metabolism slightly. It might help with the breakdown of fats and things like that. But if these studies, all right, a lot of the times these studies will kind of get twisted and turned around where people will lose inches on their stomach. But what ends up happening is individuals are losing total weight. All right, and when that happens, or total body fat, and if you lose weight and you lose body fat, guess what? You're probably going to get a slimmer waistline as well. So they don't take that into consideration. The headline will be green tea can help. If you drink green tea, then you're going to lose inches and belly fat. If you drink lemon water, same thing. All right, so let's make sure that we understand. Yes, it can give us a nice boost in metabolism. It'll be negligible. Yes, it can help keep us satiated, and that's going to be the important thing. All right, now before we get into the best foods for weight loss, there's another thing that we're going to want to make sure that we know. All right, we know for certain that nothing's going to be targeting belly fat. All right, but what we will do is that we tie it in to the best foods for weight loss, and then that will be the mechanism, that will be the food that will help us lose belly fat. Because to lose belly fat, all right, some of us, we might gain belly fat first and then we might lose it last. So if that happens, how would we drink apple cider vinegar and then the apple cider vinegar is going to automatically attack belly fat? It's just impossible. So same thing with lemon water. It's the same thing with green tea. The green tea doesn't know to go out there and then hunt for belly fat, but maybe it can boost metabolism, which over the course of the day, we might burn a few extra calories. And it's through the process of burning calories where we actually lose total body fat. And then when we lose total body fat, then maybe we can start to drop some belly fat. But always remember, guys, just because we're dropping belly fat just because we're dropping total body fat doesn't necessarily mean that we're dropping belly fat as well. We might drop body fat, but the belly fat, the fat around our waist, the hips, all right, love handles as we call them, all right, that might be last. Okay, and that's something that we just have to accept, all right, and that's okay because there's going to be some foods that we talk about that are going to help us with weight loss, all right, and if we're losing weight, that's how we can start to target belly fat, guys. So let's make sure to, before we begin the discussion, that we understand the mechanisms that are going to help us to target belly fat. Again, if there was a miracle drink out there that we could automatically drink or eat or anything of that nature, trust me, it would be monetized and out there and everyone would be drinking it. We'd all be drinking it right now. All right, but there just isn't. The best way to lose belly fat is to lose weight, and then that's why we talk about foods that help with losing weight, and that's why I combine them together. Because we see lots of videos out there. I'm sure you or even articles. I'm sure you guys have seen the articles. I'm sure you guys have seen the videos. Eat this, lose 2 inches on your stomach. All right. Drink this, all right, lose belly fat within 2 weeks. All right, unfortunately, it just doesn't work that way. All right, and time and time again, you'll come across those videos. But remember, the studies usually show that it's not just a reduction in waistline, but a reduction in total weight and a reduction in total body fat. That's important, guys, because that is how people are losing belly fat. All right, if you lose weight and you lose body fat, then most likely you're going to drop some belly fat as well. So let's talk. So hopefully we got that under control now. All right, there are foods, all right, that are going to help us lose weight. Okay, and there's going to be a number of reasons for that. A lot of people might think that it's going to boost metabolism and all of that stuff, but I like to come at it from a different angle. All right, boosting metabolism, all right, does happen. But if we're not eating the right foods, we can boost our metabolism all we want. But if we're eating unhealthy foods or an unbalanced diet and we're over maintenance level of calories, then we're not going to be losing weight. So again, I can give you all the foods in the world to help us to lose weight. But if we're not keeping our diet tight, if we're not eating, good proteins, good complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, fruits in moderation, vegetables, all of that good stuff, fiber, then, right, we're probably not going to be losing weight adding these foods that I'm about to give you, just because we're going to be over our maintenance level of calories. Keep that in mind too, guys. You're going to hear me say that quite a bit. In order to lose weight, you have to be under your maintenance level of calories, which means you aren't in a surplus of calories, you are in a deficit of calories. Being in a deficit of calories is the only way to lose weight. All right, that's just calories in versus calories out. All right, so make sure that we understand that as well as we start our chat here. Okay. I think I saw a comment on the picture. Thank you, Alpha X. I appreciate that. We got the picture up. So make sure we know that, guys. Let's sum it up here just on the two important points that we start off with, all right, as we begin our chat, and we start to list some foods now that are best to lose weight. All right, and we'll keep it simple as I always do. And thank you so much for the thumbs up there, guys. Really appreciate it. Now, we have to remember at the start of this chat, all right, before we start listing the foods, there is no food or drink that we can eat that will specifically target, or what's often promoted, melt away belly fat. All right, it just does not work that way. I wish I could come on here and give you a bunch of those foods: lemon water, apple cider vinegar, black pepper, detox drinks. The list goes on and on. Capsaicin, so chili peppers, things of that nature. No foods will do that. We have to lose weight and we have to lose total body fat. All right. Even again, if you're losing body fat, we might be losing in the stomach, in the belly last. All right. So that's why we need to be on a good diet and we need to be in a deficit of calories. All right. Also, guys, remember, to lose weight, as I just said, the only way to lose weight is to be in a calorie deficit. If we're eating at maintenance level, easy enough, we maintain our weight. If we're eating a surplus of calories, so over maintenance, we gain weight. All right, so two things right off the bat: we cannot target belly fat, we cannot spot reduce through food or through drink, and we need to be in a deficit of calories to lose weight. So let's keep that in mind as we have our discussion here, guys. Unfortunately, it's not as easy where we can just eat something or drink something and we melt away belly fat, or else we would all be eating it and drinking it right now. All right, so keep that in mind, guys. I know that's why I started off the chat. Some of you will like what you hear, some of you won't like what you hear. All right, some people might think, drinking lemon water is going to melt away belly fat. All right, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. Now, it can help with satiety. It can help with making us full, and that can be helpful for us losing weight, but it is not going to melt away belly fat. All right, so let's get into the list of foods here. Alpha X, I'm not too sure what you mean with your comments, but you've sort of been spamming the chat. Your last comment is just inappropriate for the chat that we're having here right now. So I'm just going to ask you nicely not to leave any messages like that. Let's keep it positive. All right. And I see that you've been spamming just a little bit. So we don't need to get into any of that stuff. We're here to have a positive conversation, and let's keep it at that. Everyone here is here for the same thing. Thank you very much. So let's get into the list of foods. The best foods, all right, guys. The first thing that we're going to want to keep in mind are low-calorie, nutrient-dense foods. I'll say it again. Low in calories, but nutrient-dense. Because if we're eating, all right, to lose weight, then we're obviously eating less calories. We've already been through this. We're in a deficit of calories. All right. So the best ones that we want, low-calorie foods that are high in micronutrients. And the reason for that is we're just eating less. All right, we're just eating less food. So if we're eating less food, we're probably intaking less micronutrients. So we want to make sure that we're eating foods that are very nutrient dense. All right, so what are some of those nutrient dense foods? Let's go over some of them. You guys probably know quite a bit of them, to be honest with you. So the first one I would say, very good for weight loss, is broccoli. Broccoli is going to be one of any dark leafy green vegetable, to be honest with you. But remember, broccoli is probably the king of dark leafy green vegetables. All right, broccoli, all right, has a bunch of different micronutrients in it. It's super high in vitamin K, which is quite rare, especially for dark leafy green vegetables. All right, and the other nice thing is, with broccoli, we have a very good source of fiber. All right, now why is fiber so important. Fiber is going to help us to feel more full and to keep us satiated longer. So I want you guys to think, all right, what are some calorie-dense foods that are low in calories, and what are foods that are high in fiber? Broccoli is one of those ones that give us all of that. Broccoli is an amazing dieting food, and that's why, if someone's trying to lose weight, oftentimes they'll go for broccoli or any dark leafy green vegetables. Why? Very low in calories, very high in micronutrients, and very filling. That's how we're going to lose weight, guys. It's not going to be a magic detox drink or anything like that. The reason why usually people will have these detox drinks and they might see good gains from it, so weight loss, is because they're just in a calorie deficit. If they're only drinking, say it's a green drink, it has some celery, very low in calories, well, if you're only drinking that once or twice a day, guess what? Your calories are super low. So it just goes back to what we talked about before. You're just in a calorie deficit. All right, you could really put anything in that detox drink as long as it's 500 calories. All right, if it's 500 calories or less, guess what? You're in a super deficit. Of course, you're going to see weight loss after a couple of days. All right, especially most people's maintenance is around 1,800 to 2,000 calories. Most people's is a lot higher than that. So if you're on this detox program, of course you're going to lose weight because you're just eating so few calories. All right, so I want you guys to be able to eat a well-balanced diet that you're able to maintain as a lifestyle change, not as a week where we detox and then we go back to eating, and then once you add those calories in again, we just lose all the weight loss that we gain back, all of the weight loss that we had. Okay, so again, I'm not against detox drinks. All right, I certainly am not. We had a whole conversation, live stream, where we were talking for almost 2 hours again, where we were talking about best foods for detox, and for detoxing the body. We talked about a bunch of different great detox foods and even detox recipes. But for weight loss, we're on a different subject here. For weight loss, they're probably not our best friend. All right, our best friends are those micronutrient-rich foods that are low in calories, all right, and that are filling. So broccoli would be your first one. And Deborah, broccoli is one of your favorites. It's one of my favorites as well. I'm pretty lucky in the fact that I enjoy raw broccoli. I actually enjoy it more raw and than steamed, to be honest with you. So I'm fairly lucky in that sense. Okay, so broccoli would probably be at the top of my list, but there's other good cruciferous vegetables. All right, so you could throw in cabbage, Brussels sprouts. All right, those are great ones. Why? Because they're very high in fiber, and studies show that they are incredibly filling. All right, so you're going to be feeling incredibly satiated after. And then that's how we're going to get into good weight loss. Remember, guys, we want to be feeling full. All right, the more full we feel, the more we're going to be preventing snacking throughout the day or overeating. If we're doing that, then we're probably going to be leading ourselves into a surplus of calories. All right, so broccoli would be a good one. Brussels sprouts, things like that. Think of your cruciferous vegetables, guys. High in micronutrients, low in calories. All right, and high in fiber. That's your trifecta. All right, so we already talked a little bit about the belly fat. We talked about the weight loss. All right, now what we want to start thinking about is high micronutrient dense foods, all right, and low calorie and fibrous, all right, so that we can keep ourselves full and away from snacking. Okay, guys? So broccoli, Brussels sprouts, things of that nature. All right. Now let's think of another one for the dark leafy green vegetables, because I know I mentioned that one already. All right, so we could include broccoli in that one, but let's get a couple other ones here, all right, that are going to be weight loss friendly foods. So one of the best weight loss friendly foods is going to be broccoli. Broccoli is one of your best. All right, And for the reasons that I've already mentioned, we don't have to go over it again. All right, another one is going to be Brussels sprouts. All right, if you're not a fan of Brussels sprouts, you could even throw cauliflower into that list of cruciferous vegetables. Cauliflower is a great one, right up there with broccoli, to be honest with you. It just doesn't have a couple of the unique compounds that broccoli does. It's a little lower in vitamin K. It doesn't have sulforaphane, so the sulfur compounds that broccoli has. But again, tons of fiber in it, tons of micronutrients, hardly any calories. Now let's move on to some leafy green vegetables. All right. Now, when it comes to leafy green vegetables, all right, some of my favorites are kale and spinach. I'm sure you guys could have maybe guessed those. All right. Again, why dark leafy green vegetables like kale and spinach? Well, they have a lot of weight loss friendly properties. All right. One, again, is that they're low in calories. I don't know if you guys seen it, but like if you go out and buy spinach, all right, I tend to eat spinach if I'm making a smoothie or anything like that, or even cooking with it. I don't even count the calories in it, and I have it by the handful just because it is so low in calories. All right, which is awesome for us. Remember, we want these micronutrients. We want these low-calorie, micronutrient-dense foods for weight loss. That's the best way. All right, also, they're a good source of fiber. They're very underrated in fiber. All right, so these two leafy green vegetables, and most leafy green vegetables in general, are going to be a good source of fiber, micronutrients, and low in calories. All right, and that's the trifecta again, like I said. All right, and it's a good way to help fill us up because we can eat more of it. I don't know if you guys ever seen the video. All right, there was this really cool video. It showed 400 calories in apples, 400 calories in French fries, 400 calories in broccoli. By adding these cruciferous vegetables and dark leafy green vegetables, you can eat more and more of this. You can feel more full. All right, if you looked at a plate of 400 calories of broccoli, it overloaded the plate. There was so much broccoli on the plate that they just couldn't contain it. All right, so you can actually eat more of these foods. All right, and if we want to lose weight, of course, we want to add more volume to the meals that we're eating. This is the perfect way to do it. All right, and that's why I'm mentioning so much, all right, foods that are low in calories. All right, foods that are low in calories just because we can eat more of them and it allows us to add volume to our diet. If we're not having that volume, all right, we're just going to feel way too restricted and we're probably always going to feel hungry. And if you're always feeling hungry, then guess what? You're probably going to be overeating, snacking, things in that nature. And if you're doing that, you're going to be in a surplus of calories and you're not going to be losing weight. So let's think of some of the ones that we've talked about already. The best foods for weight loss. All right, cruciferous vegetables, broccoli maybe being my favorite. All right, everyone's going to have their own favorite, but broccoli is a great one. Cauliflower you can add into there. Cabbage is a nice one. Even romaine lettuce. If you're having a salad, romaine lettuce is just fine, guys. All right, and it has good fiber as well. And then you could add Brussels sprouts in there. All right, so we talked about the cruciferous vegetables. All right, and again, why? The trifecta. Remember, we want to make sure that we focus on this. Low in calories, high in micronutrients, and high in fiber. All right, same thing with the dark leafy green vegetables. All right, we mentioned kale and spinach. All right, tons of fiber. Helps us to add volume to our meals, so it allows us to eat more, all right, which we want, especially if we're in a deficit of calories. All right, it allows us to add volume to the meals. All right, and it's also low in calories and micronutrient dense. All right, the trifecta again. All right, so very important, guys. If we're trying to lose weight, all right, again, the best ones, high in micronutrients, low in calories. And these dark leafy green vegetables and cruciferous vegetables are going to be your best bet. All right, they're going to be the ones that are going to add volume, and they're going to be the ones that are help keep you full and satiated. All right, Deborah, thank you so much. Replay this afternoon. Awesome. All right, that sounds great. I'll make sure that this is up, of course, as always, for everyone. And Deborah, thank you so much. Happy Mother's Day to you, and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers that are listening right now. Have a wonderful afternoon as well, Deborah. And shout out to my mom. I don't know if she's listening, but even happy Mother's Day to my mother as well. Hope you guys are all having a great day and enjoy your Mother's Day, everyone. All right, so let's keep going here. All right, I think this is, like I said, super important topic. If we want to lose weight, we have to be eating low-calorie foods, all right, that are nutrient-dense and that are filling, all right? If we're not eating filling foods, guys, if we're feeling hungry, all right, we're not probably going to be losing weight. I don't know about you, but if I'm feeling hungry, I'm probably going to want to eat, and then that's when you turn to foods that are high, that are high in calories. That's when we kind of make the judgment calls where we reach for something fast. It could be fast food, could be anything that's high in calories. All right, just we get our hands on it, and then we're just gonna eat it because we need that dopamine rush, or we just need that feeling of fullness. Oh, no problem, Deborah. My pleasure. You have a great day. Thank you very much. All right, so we got cruciferous vegetables, guys. Cruciferous vegetables, and we have dark leafy green vegetables. Let me give you one food in particularly that I think is one of the best foods for weight loss. All right. Again, I don't like to make huge umbrellas. So, in this chat though, we can, like talking about best weight loss friendly foods, we can create a little bit of an umbrella. So we have cruciferous vegetables, We have dark leafy green vegetables. All right, perfect. They have that trifecta that we want, those three things. Keep those in mind as we keep going here. Another great food for weight loss, all right, one of the best foods for weight loss are berries, all right, because people tend to enjoy fruit. And if you're eating fruit, all right, say you're craving something sweet, all right, berries are something that are great to sort of satiate that sweetness that we're craving, all right, that sugar type stuff, all right, because remember, yes, fruit does have sugar. It has fructose and it has glucose, all right, but fructose is going to be your fruit sugar, glucose is going to be your natural sugar, all right. It's not going to be as bad as, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, some of those other sweets that we can sort of reach out for. All right, so berries are an excellent one. The best food for weight loss that you could probably add, I would put this one right up with broccoli, to be honest, are blueberries. Blueberries are a tremendous weight loss friendly food. All right, blueberries, why blueberries? Well, blueberries, for one, they're a superfood. All right, they're a tremendous superfood. But even more, all right, with fruit, all right, we don't have to worry about being super high in calories. All right, so yes, fruit is a weight loss friendly food, but again, don't think of all fruits are made the same, because they're not. Blueberries are a superfood. All right, blueberries are super high in micronutrients, they are low in calories, and the nice thing about blueberries is that they're a good source of dietary fiber. All right, both soluble and insoluble fiber. So they're filling for us, all right? So blueberries are one of the best, all right? And they're very high in antioxidants, anthocyanins, all of that type of stuff. The things that are going to help keep us full, keep us satiated, all right? And even prevent us from wanting to snack, all right? Or reach for something sweet. They can sort of be that sweetness filler for us. I would say the same for any type of berry, like raspberries, strawberries are good choices, guys. Why? It's very similar to blueberries. Nutrient dense, low in calories. Strawberries are excellent for that. I think strawberries and blueberries are one of the best dieting foods that you can have. Again, keep it in moderation, right? But they're already very low in calories, especially blueberries. You can have a whole cup of blueberries, and I think it's just under 100 calories, and that's a lot of blueberries. Same thing with strawberries, all right? Very low in calories, but very micronutrient dense, and very high in fiber. So they're going to keep you feeling full, keep you feeling satiated. I think those are two of the best berries that you can have. The other one, if I was going to choose a third, I would probably, it's a toss-up between blackberries and raspberries, but I would probably go raspberries just because they're a little bit lower in calories and they're a little bit higher in fiber. Both are great, all right, but raspberries super high in fiber. And a lot of people, forget that. They forget that blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries, these superfood berries, all right, blueberries being probably, all right, the one that I would truly call a superfood, all right, are super high in fiber. And that's the best way for us to lose weight, because the higher the fiber, the more full we're going to feel. And if we're feeling full, guys, that's what's going to prevent us from snacking and overeating. All right, I don't know anyone that can be on a successful diet feeling hungry 24/7. Someone who can successfully lose weight while feeling hungry 24/7. Think about it. How long are we going to be able to maintain that type of lifestyle? I don't know about you guys, but I, for one, wouldn't be able to maintain it very long. All right, maybe a few days, maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks at the most. All right, but we want to make lifestyle changes. So again, we can think of fruit. The best ones are going to be berries. Why? They have the trifecta. Remember, keep that trifecta in mind here, guys. Micronutrient dense, low in calories, and high in fiber. All right, those 3 berries are amazing for all 3 of those. All right, again, strawberries, especially in season now. All right, tremendous. And also, again, they can satisfy us. All right. A lot of people might want to turn to sweets, especially when dieting. They can satiate and give us that sweet taste as well, especially strawberries and blueberries, or even raspberries to a certain extent. Raspberries maybe being a little bit more tart, but certainly strawberries and blueberries with that sweet taste. All right, so think about blueberries and those raspberries and the other berries like strawberries. All right, those are your 3 best bets for weight loss, okay, and for the reasons that we said. Now I'm going to give you 2 more fruits, guys. All right, 2 more fruits specifically for weight loss. Now, does this mean it's not going to be bananas, but does this mean bananas or oranges are bad for weight loss? No, but we want to talk about the best foods for weight loss. All right, we have it in the title, and I have it capitalized for a reason. We're talking about the best foods to turn to. All right, the 2 other ones that I would go with are apples and pears, and here's why. All right, again, they're lower in calories, but what they have, all right, that other ones, and bananas have this to a certain extent, but bananas have a little bit more fructose and glucose in it, little bit less fiber, all right, so that fructose and glucose can turn into sucralose, which is just your regular sugar, all right, spike insulin levels, be stored as fat more often, all right, and once you get those blood sugar spikes, all right, yeah, that crash can really get us feeling hungry, all right, and really turning towards foods that are not going to be good for weight loss. But apples and pears, again, nutrient dense, lower in calories, and super high in fiber. All right, pears being very underrated for their fiber. All right, those are the 2 fruits that I probably turn to. If I'm feeling like a snack, I will turn to an apple. All right, and it'll give me that sweet taste. It'll give me a little bit of that fiber, so I'll feel full after. All right, I love apples, love pears, but again, keep it in moderation. It's not like you would want to eat like 4 apples in a day. You know, leave it for maybe at nighttime. I think that's one of the best times to have it, just because it will satiate you at nighttime, give you that sweet taste. And at nighttime is when people tend to overeat, is when people tend to reach for junk food and things of that nature. So nighttime might be your best bet for apples and pears, things of that nature. Okay, so those are probably your best ones it comes to fruit. All right, again, you guys will see, and again, we should point out, all right, why do I keep saying fiber? Why am I pointing out fibrous fruit? Well, fiber will prevent the release of the glucose and fructose that's in fruit. Don't forget, it does have sugar in it, but fiber slows down the absorption of those sugars into the bloodstream. So remember when I talked about blood sugar spikes? It'll prevent those blood sugar spikes. All right, and then you'll prevent the crash. All right, because once you get that crash, I'm telling you guys, that's when you're feeling extra hungry. That's when you usually go for the fast food or chips or something of that nature, ice cream. All right, so the fiber is very important when we think about blood sugar levels as well. All right, other things like pineapple, mangoes, papaya, all very healthy foods. All right, but they can sort of lead to blood sugar spikes as well, and sugar being released into the bloodstream more quickly. So increasing blood sugar level, increasing insulin levels, and things of that nature. So I think those are some of the best ones. Very high in antioxidants as well. Micronutrient dense, low in calories. Doesn't get better than that, guys. All right. Now, if any of you guys have any questions in regards to any foods, I mean, I'm listing the foods off, but if you guys have some questions about certain foods, please feel free to mention a food in here, and we can certainly discuss it as well. Now, maybe something's messed up with my thumbs up, but I see we're still at 7. I saw we started with 7, and I see we're still at 7. I don't know, maybe something's messed up on my end and it's just not moving up. But if someone wants to smash that like, and then we can see maybe if it'll go to 8, or again, it might just be on my side. But I know you guys, we started off with 7. I couldn't believe it even before we got going on this chat. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. So I hope we're learning a little bit about the fruit that we want to stick towards. The best fruit for weight loss. All right, those high fiber, low calorie, nutrient dense foods. All right, so let's move on to our next one. All right, what's our next group of foods here? Also, let's just reiterate, all right, for the people who came in here. All right, is there any foods, I would love to hear someone's take, is there any foods that's going to be targeting belly fat or melting away belly fat on its own? You know, because those are videos that we see all the time. I remember when I started the channel, even seeing videos where it was drink apple cider vinegar, melt away belly fat, or drink this one ingredient and melt away belly fat. Is there such a thing? Are we so lucky to have a food or drink that can do that for us? Well, unfortunately, the answer is no. All right, the answer is just simply no. All right, there's not a food that's going to automatically go and attack belly fat and melt away belly fat, guys. So anyone who's just coming into the chat, that's what we started with. All right, there's no foods or drink out there that are going to be melting away belly fat for us. If we want to lose belly fat, we need to lose weight. We need to lose body fat. The more body fat we lose, the better chance we have to target that belly fat. But food and drink alone will not target that belly fat. If it could, we'd all be drinking or eating whatever that food or drink was. And I'm sure someone would come out with something monetized already, making a bunch of money based on that food or drink. Chicago, Sir Crutch, great to have Chicago in the chat. Thank you for joining us. AI, great to have you in here. Thrilled to find you live. Well, it's great to have you in here. I appreciate it. So yeah, unfortunately, there's just no food that's going to target belly fat, guys. Even in exercise, this is a big misconception. I'm just going to move off the topic for 1 second. Hey, Jay, welcome to the chat, buddy. Thanks for coming in, guys. I appreciate it. It's great hearing where everyone's from, and it's great seeing who's in chat. I love the engagement. Thank you so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. But let's remember, we cannot spot reduce, all right? I really want you guys to remember that, because I don't want you falling for the trap of where we think that we can eat certain foods or drink a certain drink, and that's going to do wonders for us. We have to make the lifestyle change. All right. It's the same with exercise or movement. Remember, I like calling it movement because we don't have to go into a gym. We can just go and walk. But a lot of people will make the misconception of, oh, I want to lose belly fat. I'm going to do a bunch of core exercises like crunches, things of that nature. All right. That's not going to help one bit. Just because you're working on your stomach doesn't mean that you're going to have a better six pack. All right. That's usually what people are looking for. All right. It doesn't mean that you're going to be losing belly fat. All right. All that means is that you might be increasing the look of your body, of your core, or your six pack. Let's just call it the six pack. All right. You're going to be increasing, all right, the muscle size, the tone of your six pack, but unfortunately, it's still going to be hidden underneath the belly fat. Why? Because we cannot spot reduce. And it doesn't matter if we're talking about belly fat, or if we're talking about our arms, or if we're talking about our back. You cannot spot reduce. You have to lose body fat all over the body. Once you lose enough body fat, then maybe we'll start targeting the belly or the stomach, and then that's when we start to see the six pack. It's the exact same for exercise as it is for food. Food does the exact same thing. So the reason why we have to remember that there's no food or drink that we can eat that will specifically melt away belly fat is that we want to make sure that we're eating the best foods to lose weight. Because if we're losing weight, all right, that gives us the best chance to lose body fat, and then that gives us the chance to lose belly fat. Hope that makes sense. I just want you guys to make sure, all right, because I think I'd be doing a disservice to everyone who's listening right now, and there's quite a few of you in here. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. And to everyone who's going to be listening to this after, I would be doing a huge disservice if I didn't make it clear that there's foods out there that just will not, there's nothing that we can do that will spot reduce. It is impossible. All right, again, or if we wanted to, if we could have everyone doing crunches or sit-ups, everyone would have a six-pack, and it just doesn't happen. So just again to reiterate for the people who are coming in here, I see Sir Crutch, I see AI, I see Jay. All right, we cannot spot reduce and melt away belly fat. We have to lose total body fat, total weight, and then that's how we start to melt away belly fat. And so that's why we're going over some of the best foods here. And we've done a fairly good job getting through some fairly quickly here. We talked about cruciferous vegetables. All right, remember, think about your trifecta. All right, the triple. All right, what we want: low calorie, high micronutrients, and high in fiber. The reason why we want high micronutrients: to lose weight, we have to eat less food. We have to be in a calorie deficit. So we want to make sure that we're keeping ourselves covered once it comes to micronutrients. We don't want any deficiencies or anything like that. That can lead you feeling more tired, and it can actually make you feel more hungry. So we want those nutrient-dense foods. We want those calorie-low foods. Again, those go hand in hand. When we can get those going hand in hand, those are the best foods for weight loss. All right, so calorie-low foods. Again, once we have calorie-low foods, all right, we're going to be eating towards more of the deficit of calories, and we can also eat more of those foods so we can increase food volume, which just means we can increase the amount of food that we're eating, which is great. That can help keep us full. And fiber for the exact same reason, guys. All right, fiber, all right, it's going to help keep you full. It's going to help keep you satiated. It's going to prevent snacking during the day. All right, and it's going to prevent an increase or spike in blood sugar. Why? Because fiber is going to slow down the absorption rate of sugar or fructose, whatever it is. Remember, we talked about fruits, so fructose and glucose. It's going to slow down the absorption rate into the bloodstream, all right, which can prevent blood sugar spikes. Because once we get those blood sugar spikes, guys, and we get the crash, you guys have probably been there. I've been there. When you get that crash, that's when you really start to feel hungry, and then that's when we start to make the choices that we don't want to make. We start reaching for the high calorie foods. We start reaching for the, fatty foods or the sugary foods, the things that are going to make us eat in a surplus of calories. So keep that in mind, guys. That's kind of where we've been. We talked a little bit about berries, things of that nature. Well, thank you very much, AI. I appreciate the compliment, appreciate the comment. I'm very glad that you enjoy the channel and that you're enjoying the discussion. I'm doing great, Jay. How are you doing? Hopefully everyone's having a really good day today. Nice, healthy, safe day. So keep that in mind, guys. That's kind of summing up where we've been so far. We just need to make sure that we know we can't spot reduce. We need to lose weight, and that's why we're going over the best foods to do it. I wish I came on here, and that's why, again, I'll just reiterate. I started the chat saying I'm going to bring up some things that people are going to like to hear, but I might bring up a couple things that people might not like hearing. And one of the things that, you might not like to hear is there's no magic food that we can eat that's going to melt away belly fat, all right? Or help you lose or automatically lose weight. So what I mean by that is if you drink lemon water, you'll just automatically lose weight. It doesn't quite work like that. There's a lifestyle change that needs to be made. We need to be in a deficit of calories. Okay, so a deficit of calories is the only way to lose weight. Now, the good thing about that is, before I move on to the next one, I have a couple more really, really good ones for you guys, especially for weight loss. Some overlooked ones too. Things that you guys might not have thought about. But one good thing that we should all remember also is best foods for weight loss. It does not matter what type of diet you follow. Okay, all of the foods that I mentioned pretty much fit into any diet that I can think of. All right, the only one maybe, all right, is the berries not fitting in a keto diet. All right, but other than that, you can fit cruciferous vegetables. You can fit in broccoli. All right, yeah, so dark leafy green vegetables. All right, and even some of those fruits. All right, if you're eating them in moderation, unless you're really, really strict on keto, trying to stay in ketosis 100% of the time. All right, you might be able to have those in moderation. And if not, all right, again, you have lots of other options. Okay, so let's keep going here. And yes, Sir Crutch, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Exactly. I hope all the moms out there are having a wonderful day. So let's move on to some other foods. All right, again, we want to stay away from, we just want to stay away from those misconceptions, those miracle foods and things like that. Yes, they can help, but only to a certain extent. Okay, just make sure that we remember that. All right, now here's a good one, because we've talked about a lot of veggies and low calorie fruits. All right, those ones might be a little bit more on the common sense, more so of knowledge. All right, you guys probably know, if I want to lose weight, eating vegetables, eating fruits, high fibrous fruits, eating cruciferous vegetables, those are probably the ones that you're going to want. All right. And all of your suggestions have very low sodium. Yes, absolutely. AI, 100%. And they're very low in sodium, so no salt and things of that nature, which is very, very important. All right. Just as important as not having salt or sugar, sorry. All right. So one of the ones too that I want to make sure, but we want to make sure that we're eating these in moderation. All right. But one of the best ones and overlooked, I don't think anyone, I shouldn't say anyone, but a lot of people might not be thinking about this food when it comes to weight loss. But it's a great way to start our day. I'll give you a little hint. It's a great way to start our day, but it can be eaten any time of the day, and it can be eaten a number of different ways. All right? It can be cooked a bunch of different ways. So very versatile in its use. So if you don't like them one way, you can eat them another way. All right? And so that makes it easy to add to the diet. All right? I bought the Brazilian nuts and walnuts. Had 3 Brazil nuts when I got home. Good for Jay. Good for you, buddy. I had Brazil nuts today as well. I had 3 as I was editing today's video. That's funny you bring that up. Awesome. Good for you. From Las Vegas. First time here. Well, welcome, Maria. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know where you're from. And even better, your first time here. Welcome to the live chats. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, so let's see if someone can guess maybe before I end my rant. And thanks again, Maria. And thanks for the compliment or for the comment, Jay. But let's think of anyone. Let's see if anyone can guess as I'm doing my little rant here what this food is for weight loss. One of the best foods, often overlooked. All right, it's a superfood, and again, it's often overlooked as a superfood as well. All right, but very good for weight loss. We just want to make sure that we're eating it in moderation. All right, we can tend to eat them in the morning. We can eat them a bunch of different ways. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water, and then I'm going to let you guys know. Okay, if we don't have any guesses, let me break it to you guys then. One of the best ones that we can eat for weight loss are eggs. All right, eggs. And not just egg whites, guys. We're speaking about whole eggs. And that might come as a surprise to some people. A lot of people will think, well, eggs are super high in calories. Eggs have cholesterol. Why would they be good for weight loss? Well, we have to remember, all right, that eggs, even though they may be a little bit higher in cholesterol levels, the foods that we're intaking, and we've seen this through numerous studies. It's not like I'm handpicking studies and just coming up with ones that are handpicked that are going to make the point for me. We know that. Oh, you were close, AI. Good guess. Beets is a great one. We might get there later, though. All right, but eggs are great, but we know that the cholesterol that we're intaking has very little effect on our total serum cholesterol levels. All right, so what's that mean? It means that it's not going to spike your cholesterol too much. What's going to affect your cholesterol is lifestyle. So if you're living a sedentary lifestyle, eating a diet that's devoid of micronutrients, eating a diet that's high in sugar, in sodium, as AI mentioned, all right? So salt, if we're eating foods like that and we're not active, that's going to have a way bigger effect on your total cholesterol levels than eating eggs, all right? I just had dinner. I had steamed broccoli, beans, and grilled chicken, wild rice. Wow, Jay, nice. Sounds very good, and actually sounds very good for weight loss, to be honest with you. So nicely done. So eggs, guys, eggs are very important. All right, a lot of people were thinking before that it was going to raise bad cholesterol. All right, but we're seeing that it's just not going to happen. All right, we've seen that eggs, starting the day with eggs, all right, is one of the best ways or best foods to actually lose weight. There's a nice correlation in a bunch of different studies that people who ate eggs in the morning, all right, had a much better chance of losing weight. All right, or lost a lot more weight than those people who weren't eating eggs in the morning. Now, why is that? Okay, why would eggs help you lose weight? Again, they're fairly low in calories. They're not as high in calories as people may think. I think one egg on average has about 80 calories. It can be 80 to, it could be even as low as maybe 75 to 100 calories, depending on the size. All right, medium to extra large. All right, so they're not super high in calories. All right, we need to remember that. The other thing is they're very satiating. They're very full. So remember, those are the things that we want. All right, we want satiating, all right, and foods that are helping us to feel full. Because if we're doing that, that's going to prevent snacking. That's why they were so helpful in the morning. So it was a great start to the morning. All right, they're making people feel full. They weren't getting that crash midway through the morning and then having to reach for a different food or for a snack. So what will happen is people will kind of, eat a quick breakfast. All right, it wouldn't be eggs. Let's say it's not eggs, and then have that crash mid-morning. Maybe someone brought donuts in, all right, something along those lines, cookies. That's when they would reach for that. We saw people who ate eggs weren't doing that as much. They were feeling more full throughout the morning into the afternoon, so they weren't snacking as often, which is great. All right, so we know that eggs are more satiating. We see this through a number of different studies. That's why they were so helpful for people to lose weight. We also know that they're weight loss friendly because they have weight loss friendly nutrients. All right, and let's go over a couple. We've talked about fiber. That's one very weight loss friendly nutrient. All right, fiber is a great one, maybe one of the most important one. But the other important ones, all right, that we don't want to forget about also are protein and fat. We know that protein and fats are very satiating and they're very filling. So protein and fat in eggs are a tremendous combination for helping us to feel satiated and to feel full. So that's why they're so helpful in the morning. I tend to eat eggs most mornings, and if it's not in the mornings, it's sometime like in early afternoon to prevent an afternoon crash. I tend to eat eggs pretty much every day, guys, and it's always whole eggs. All right, again, don't be too scared of the cholesterol unless you're really overdoing it on eggs and cholesterol intake. It's more so of the fast foods, sugar, high sodium foods, and poor lifestyle. So it's very sedentary lifestyle. That's going to affect cholesterol. All right. So remember, high in protein, high in healthy fats. Let's make the difference. This is why I like whole eggs so much, and whole eggs are a superfood. All right, we want the yolk. That's where all the fat is, but it's healthy fats, and that's where all the nutrients are. Okay, so we have the filling micronutrients. We have the filling compounds, protein, all right, and fat, so macronutrients there. So different from fiber. All right, and then we also have very nutrient dense. All right, so again, think about the trifecta, right, guys? All right, low in calories. We know that an egg is not that high in calories. On average, it's about 80 calories, sometimes less. All right, it has tons of nutrients, especially if you eat whole eggs. All right, and it has very filling macronutrients in the form of protein and fat. And that's why they're so helpful in the morning for people who ate them. And that's why the study showed people who ate eggs had a better chance to lose weight. Because, I think it went up against people who were eating carbohydrates in the morning. Not that carbohydrates are bad, just that it's showing that whole eggs are more satiating, more filling for individuals. That way it's preventing them from snacking during the day and throughout the day, to be honest, and especially in the morning. That's when people tend to, just before that lunch break, that's when people tend to snack just a little bit. That time, late morning, early afternoon, and nighttime. So eggs are a great one, guys. Very filling, high in protein, high in healthy fats, and fairly low in calories. All right, so just make sure you're eating the full eggs. All right. like a whole egg, because we want those nutrient-dense foods. And why? Because if you're trying to lose weight, you're probably on a calorie-restricted diet because you need to be in a deficit. So if you're eating those whole eggs, you're getting a ton of nutrients, very high in B vitamins. And guess what that's great for? B vitamins are very important for energy. Okay, so if you're eating less calories, people tend to have less energy, obviously, because you're not getting as much nutrients in there. You're not getting as many calories, and calories are used as energy. All right, calories are energy. All right, so we know with the B vitamins, we're getting good energy boosting, all right, from eggs, which is just amazing. All right, so eggs, people often overlook eggs. I think they're one of the best foods for weight loss. Again, you don't have to overdo it with eggs. All right, like 1 to 2 eggs in the morning, a great start. I think the study was done just with 1 egg, if I believe. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but there are 2 studies that I looked at, and I think both were just looking at 1 single egg. All right, I tend to have 2. All right, just depending on your own maintenance level of calories, you can make the choice on if you want to have 1 or 2. Doesn't really matter, just as long as you're not overdoing it. All right, and the reason why I'm saying don't overdo it is not related to cholesterol, it's related to calories. Okay, that's the only reason why I'm saying that. It doesn't have anything to do with cholesterol. All right, because again, you'd really have to overdo it with eggs for that cholesterol to shoot up. Okay, so eggs are a great start to the morning. Remember though, you can eat them anytime. That's the nice thing about eggs. I'm kind of doing the egg commercial for them, I feel like. I think that's sort of their slogan or motto or whatever it is. You can have them anytime. Eggs for dinner, for lunch, for breakfast, doesn't matter. But we know they're probably most useful for weight loss, I would say in the morning, guys. In the morning or at dinner to help you kind of prevent late night snacking. I think because late night snacking is one of the biggest things to prevent us from losing weight. Because when it's usually at nighttime, it's funny, when I do my consultations, I'll mark off morning, afternoon, and evening. So we're looking sort of at like the 3 meals. They might have snacks during the day, but I'll always leave room to talk about nighttime snacking. All right. I'll always leave room to figure out what people are eating at nighttime, because people are always sort of having what we would call cheat meals. All right. So if they're trying to lose weight, all right, cheat meals would be like your ice cream, your cookies, chips, things of that nature at nighttime. That's just when it happens. Okay. Because we're starting to feel tired. We might have we might have spiked our blood sugar, and now we're getting blood sugar spikes. So now we're feeling like something sugary or something that's quick. All right. That's when the snacking usually happens, guys. But I will always leave a little bit of space to specifically talk about nighttime snacking, just because everyone does it. And there's nothing bad about it. All right. If we can address it and talk about it, then we can change it. Once we can sort of pinpoint it and look at the timing and what types of foods and what they eat before, then you can make the changes and try to prevent that nighttime snacking. So again, we're never coming from a judgmental point of view. Everyone that has done this, I've done it. All right, it's not to be judgmental, it's just to try to fix. All right. So whole eggs, one of the best weight loss friendly foods. And if you're trying to lose belly fat, whole eggs are a great choice as well. All right. Okay, you're not going to be getting very much blood sugar spike from a whole egg. There's no carbohydrates in them. It's only protein and fat. All right, so it's going to neutralize, all right, any blood sugar spikes. All right, because remember, if we spike it too high and we start getting insulin, all right, it can be stored as fat. So whole eggs, very good. Now let's talk about some other ones. So whole eggs people might not have thought about. Another one that people might not have thought about, and again, we'll want to eat this in moderation. Right? It's a superfood. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. All right. And a lot of people don't even tend to think of it as a superfood, but it's one of my go-tos in my consultations. And this usually fits in anyone's diet as well. Whole eggs, maybe not. All right, just depending on the diet. All right, well, let's be honest. It might not fit in everyone's diet, but these next ones, and we can create a little umbrella here, guys. All right, so by an umbrella, I mean we can group a bunch of these different foods together. All right, and all of them are kind of considered superfoods because they're also similar in their micro and macronutrient breakdown, but one of your best weight loss friendly foods are beans and legumes. All right. Some better than others. Let's talk about the best ones, in my opinion. Okay. The best ones are going to be your black beans. Okay. Now, why are black beans so good? If you look at the micronutrients of black beans, whenever I show this to clients or to individuals or I talk about it, people are so surprised at the level how rich in micronutrients black beans are. They are incredibly rich in micronutrients, which is amazing. Remember, that's one of our weight loss friendly points that we want to make sure we're covering. Magnesium, off the charts in magnesium, phosphorus, tons of different ones. I could go on and on. Vitamins and minerals. So just an amazing micronutrient dense food. The other thing with black beans, all right, very high in micronutrients, all right, very good in calories. All right, you can have a whole cup of black beans and you're not going to be getting a ton of calories in that. And a lot of it, all right, is actually going to be dietary fiber. All right, yes, you are getting carbohydrates, but a lot of it is dietary fiber. All right, both soluble and insoluble fiber. So again, it has that second one. Tons of fiber. So very nutrient dense, tons of fiber. And then the third one we already know. All right, if you guys remember the third one, micronutrient dense, right, high in fiber, and fairly low in calories. So that's amazing. Now, the other nice thing about black beans, and you could also throw kidney beans in there. Let's not forget that we can create a little umbrella here. All right. If I was going to pick two, I would probably pick black beans and kidney beans. All right. Just because those are highest than the ones that we've just talked about. But not only are they high in fiber, but they're also a really good source of protein. All right, they're probably the go-to protein source or one of the go-to protein sources for individuals who are on a vegan or vegetarian diet, individuals who don't eat meat, so they need meat alternatives, meat substitutes. Okay, so not only do they have fiber that's going to help keep you full, but they also have good levels of protein as well, which is incredible. Tremendous combination within beans, and that's why I think they're some of the best weight loss friendly foods. All right, black beans, red kidney beans. So let's just go over those again. Tremendous micronutrients in both of those beans. Tremendous fiber and macronutrient protein similar to the whole eggs. They have no fat though. Remember, whole eggs have your fats. Beans are a complex carb. All right, so again, with beans, all right, nice macronutrients. And the nice thing about beans too is, guys, yes, they have fiber, yes, they have protein, but we also have to remember they're a complex carb. So what does that mean? Their digestion is a little bit slower than simple carbs, quite a bit slower. All right, and that's something that we want, because the slower the digestive process, the lower our chance of getting blood sugar spikes, the lower absorption rate of those carbohydrates into the bloodstream. So we're not getting that spike in blood sugar, which is going to lead to a crash. All right. This is going to help keep us full, guys. It's going to help keep us satiated. All right. And it's going to keep calories down. So beans are an amazing choice. Beans are one of the best as well. You guys can kind of see a trend. All right. Every food that I'm sort of picking in here really could, almost all of them really could be the best. All right. That's why I'm giving you a bunch of them. All of them are just so good for weight loss for a multitude of reasons. High in micronutrients, high in fiber, low in calories, high in healthy fats that's going to keep you full, complex carbohydrates, protein, all of those things that we've listed. Jay, gotta run, but we'll catch up. All right, sounds good, Jay. No worries. Thank you for coming in. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you coming in, leaving comments. As always, have an awesome day. So beans, guys, tremendous superfood. All right, I consider them a superfood, especially when it comes to weight loss. Another one, all right, we said legumes. The best one, I'm just going to leave it at one here, okay? So we have black beans. Kidney beans can be included as well, and maybe like a pinto bean, maybe. But lentils, amazing for weight loss, guys. Tremendous for weight loss. And again, these three that I'm giving you can fit really into any diet. And if you combine these, so say if you're a vegetarian or vegan and you combine these foods, you're getting a complete protein. So all that means is they have all of the essential amino acids, all right, like a chicken breast or lean ground beef, all right, all of the amino acids that those complete proteins would have, all right? So nice complete protein, have all of the amino acids, essential amino acids. I believe there's 9 of them, all right? Usually the one that some foods are missing, which makes them a non-complete protein, is lysine or leucine, one of those two, all right? But black beans, lentils, they're going to have all of them. All right. So they're a nice complete protein source for individuals who do not eat meat. All right. So if you're looking for weight loss friendly foods, black beans, kidney beans, and lentils are some of your best bets. Again, they have the trifecta. They're very high in micronutrients. And again, I don't know about you guys, but if you're looking for foods high in fiber and foods that are high in protein and you don't eat meat, then beans are probably one of your best bets. All right. I'll eat beans from time to time. All right. They're very filling. We've seen this in numerous studies, and this is why we already know they're so good for weight loss. We've seen them in numerous studies, just how filling and how satiating they are. Okay. It cannot be underappreciated because they have all of those those attributes is the right word that I'm looking for. All of those attributes that make a weight loss friendly food. We've already gone over them. I don't want to list them again. But one other thing, since we know that they're high in protein, we know that they're high in fiber, all right, 2 very important nutrients that we know we've seen in multiple studies and we've mentioned throughout the list of foods that we've included that, are very satiating, very filling. But what they also have, all right, we said that they had soluble and insoluble fiber, but they also have resistant starch, all right, another fiber, all right, which is very rare. So beans and legumes, great source of resistant starch. Okay, so that's going to even help with digestion and even slow down the digestive process. Resistant starch, all right, slows down that digestive process, and again, that's going to help prevent blood sugar spikes. The only other food that comes right off the top of my mind with resistant starch, I believe some potatoes, all right, but I also know for sure unripe bananas, a good source of resistant starch. So the more green the banana in, the higher the resistant amount of starch there's going to be, all right. Bananas that are very ripe tend to be more higher in pectin, all right, so a different type of fiber, also very good, and you would also find pectin in lemons, all right, very good source of fiber there. But isn't that amazing? So beans and legumes, not only high in protein, high in micronutrients, low in calories, all right, but also great source of insoluble, soluble, and resistant starch fiber. All right, so that's what makes them so good, and that's why I called them a superfood in relation to losing weight. I don't eat them every day, but if you're a big fan of beans or anything like that, they're very easy to make. And again, very versatile. That's why I like giving them out as well. Like giving them out as an option for you guys is they can be added to a number of different recipes, or you can even just eat them on their own. I like adding them to recipes and things like that. Maybe I'll throw them in with chicken breasts and a bunch of veggies, cook that up almost as like a stir fry. You can do that. Very simple to add to the diet. And again, fit into pretty much any diet. All right. I think, again, the exception might be keto, especially if you're really strict on a keto diet so that you're in ketosis. Really fitting into almost any diet here, guys. And that's the type of foods that I like to give you as well. Foods that can fit into almost any diet and are extremely versatile, can be added to a bunch of different recipes and included into your diet easily. All right. So beans and legumes, I think lentils, black beans, I think those are 2 of your best. You could even throw kidney beans in there. They're just so nutrient dense. Take a look at the micronutrients found in black beans if you have time, guys, and just be impressed by how much is just in 1 cup of black beans, or even half a cup. Like I said, they're not high in calories, all right? And a lot of the calories, it's going to be dietary fiber. And so I don't know if you guys have heard of net carbs, net carbohydrates. When people talk about net carbohydrates, what they're saying is, the amount of carbohydrates in a food minus the fiber. All right. So let's just for the example, in half a cup of black beans, there's 30 grams of carbohydrates, but there's 10 grams of fiber. The net carbs is 20. All right, that's all that's referring to. All right, I don't know if you guys have heard of net carbs and maybe been wondering what that is, but that's all that's referring to. So what a lot of people will say is that beans and legumes are very low in net carbohydrates. So if you hear that, that's what it's referring to. It's just referring to that it's not super high in carbohydrates and it's very high in fiber because you minus the fiber from the total amount of carbohydrates. Rupal, great to have you in chat. Thank you so much. I believe this might be your first time in chat. And again, if not, I do apologize. I tend to remember most individuals' names who've been in chat. But yeah, I love beans too. I think they're a great food. And like I said, I think they're one of the best superfoods when it comes to weight loss. Very filling, micronutrient dense, all of the above when it comes to a good weight loss friendly food. All right. And again, going to help keep you satiated. So if you have them at nighttime, if you have them for dinner, it's going to help prevent you from, going to those chips, going to the ice cream at nighttime. All right. Cheating at nighttime. All right. We call it cheating. I don't really necessarily like that word. It's just so common in the industry and the consultations. People will use that word to me. So I've kind of picked it up, but like cheat meals and things like that, just unhealthy meals and things like that. Oh yes, been here tons of times. My apologies, Rupal. Maybe just haven't seen you in chat, or if it was, maybe just quickly. But thank you so much for joining us here again today, my friend. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Hope everyone's having a great Sunday. I'm just enjoying talking about some friendly weight loss foods. And again, for the people who are just coming into chat, all right, we've been talking quite a bit with everyone. The magic the question of the day, is there foods that are going to magically melt away belly fat? Because I'm sure you've seen the videos. I'm sure maybe you've even watched the videos, or maybe you've heard or read an article. Is there foods that are going to melt away belly fat? Well, unfortunately, the answer is no. All right, there's no food out there that's going to magically melt away belly fat. It's just not possible. We cannot spot reduce. Okay, so that's something that we've really been talking about, and that I really want you guys to take away from this chat. If we could, we'd all be eating it right now. Isn't that right, Rupal? We'd all be eating that drink. We'd all be eating that food or drinking the drink that's going to be leading to us melting away belly fat. But of course, it's just not that easy. We have to have a well-balanced diet and a well-balanced lifestyle. And a well-balanced diet, all right, what I really mean when I'm referring to a well-balanced diet is that you're in a deficit of calories. So you're eating fewer calories than it takes to maintain your weight, your maintenance level of calories. So the only way to lose weight is to be in a deficit of calories. That's why I'm giving you guys so many foods that are filling, high in fiber, high in protein, high in resistant starch. All right, insoluble fiber. That's why that is so important, because if we really want to lose belly fat, guys, if we really want to lose belly fat, we have to lose weight. All right, and even more, if we want to take it one step further, not just lose weight, but we have to lose body fat. Okay, we have to lose body fat in order to lose belly fat. Unfortunately, for some of us, we put on belly fat first, which means we will lose belly fat last. Most likely, okay? For most people, that's how it works. Jicama, I believe jicama is a tropical fruit, right, AI? Jicama? I believe I'm saying that right as well. But yeah, I believe jicama is a tropical fruit. I asked about apple cider vinegar about it some time ago. Yes. I remember now, Rupal. Yes, absolutely. And apple cider vinegar is one of those foods that you see all the time. Drink a a shot of apple cider vinegar a day or in the morning, and it's going to melt away belly fat. Unfortunately, it just does not work that way. Unfortunately, it could have benefits with digestion and with skin and even boosting metabolism, but that boost to metabolism is going to be very negligible, guys. It will have little to no effect on belly fat or even total fat loss. All right, and if it is, it's not going to be significant at all. It's going to be a lifestyle change and adding these foods in. Low calorie, high micronutrient dense foods that are high in fiber, all right, and that are filling, all right, satiating. Those are the foods that we want to stick to, guys. All right, so let's continue with some other ones. I just love beans and legumes. All right, I think they're amazing. Like I said, the 3 trifecta ones that we just talked about, all right, but they also have the protein in them and they have the resistant starch. So 2 other nutrients that are amazing. Hikama, yes, in California. Yeah, hikama, that's right. I don't know why I said jikama, but yes, hikama. Yeah, and it's a nice fruit. More of like in California, yeah, very nice. It's been a long time since I've done a video on hikama, that's for sure. But if you want to learn more about hikama, you can definitely watch one on the channel. I remember doing hikama quite a while ago, so let's talk about some other ones here, guys. I just want to make sure that you guys, can I ask about tinned fruits, please? Yes, absolutely. Maybe some other people in chat. Let's just go over that real fast, okay, guys? Because we did talk about fruit. Remember, some of the best fruits that we want to talk about are the best fruits that we want to eat, and the ones that we talked about were berries, and specifically blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries. All right, those are probably your best ones. All right, and then 2 other ones were probably your apples and pears. Why? Because they have all of those nutrients that we like for weight loss. They're very low in calories, all of that great stuff. Tinned fruits, all right, are going to be higher in sugar, all right, and have more preservatives. All right, and you're going to lose a lot of the fiber that comes from just eating the raw fruits, which we mentioned. Frozen is fine. I'll get questions all the time about frozen fruits. You can have frozen berries. I think I specifically will get frozen berries just because they last longer, all right, and I can eat them for a long time, all right? But if you're looking to lose weight, I would try to stay away from them and eat raw as often as possible, okay? Eat raw or frozen, okay? I like eating peaches and mandarins from a tin. Do they still retain? Yeah, but not as much vitamins and minerals, and they'll have a little bit more preservatives and less fiber, Rupal. Okay, so again, stick to raw when it comes, especially anything that's canned. All right, anything that's canned, of course, is going to have a little bit more sugar, a little bit more sodium, all right, to help make it last. All right, and it's going to just have a little bit more preservatives, things we want to stay away from. But yes, frozen is just fine. I had a blueberry video that a lot of people have been talking about, and so I actually pinned a comment to it because people were asking, can I have frozen blueberries? Absolutely. Okay, do not be worried about frozen blueberries, frozen strawberries, frozen raspberries. They retain their vitamins and minerals, all right, and they retain the fiber, all right. So it's just a good way for them. All right, you can buy them in bulk, so it's better on the wallet as well, all right, and they last longer. So those are a great choice. But I would try to stay away from tin if you're trying to lose weight, especially belly fat, just because they can increase blood sugar, lead to insulin, everything like that. All right, so let's go to our next one here, guys. All right, now again, be careful of lists out there. Be careful of lists because they'll mention low-calorie foods, but anything that's just because something is low-calorie doesn't mean that it's weight loss friendly. All right, it could be low-calorie but still high in sugar. It could be low-calorie but still high in salt and preservatives. We already know if it's high in these things, it's going to be creating blood sugar spikes, which could eventually lead to cravings, and you're not going to feel as satiated. All right. So even though something might be listed as low calorie, still make sure that you're watching, or low fat especially, because remember, low fat, let's say low fat cottage cheese or low fat cheese or low fat milk, it's going to have more milk sugars in it. All right, so we got to be careful with that type of stuff as well. All right, so let's go on to our next one. I thought I'd just throw that in there. Another one here, guys. I want to give you one that's fairly popular these days, and one that's a little bit different from what we were just talking about. So we talked about whole eggs. We've talked about fruit just a little bit there. We talked about beans and legumes. Another nice one, this one I guess is classified as a fruit, but it's a fat source. Maybe you guys can guess it. All right, so it would be classified as a fruit, but it's actually a healthy fat source, and it's a superfood, and it's a tremendous superfood, to be honest with you guys. And we're learning more and more about the health benefits of this food. All right, and it's amazing benefits when eaten in moderation, especially this food here, guys. It's great for fat loss, but we have to remember we want to eat it in moderation, similar to whole eggs. All right, but it is a superfood, and I would almost list it as a superfood. Maybe not as good as some of the other ones, almost as a superfood, as one of the best foods to eat to lose weight. Just take a sip of water. I'll let you guys try to guess what it is. Okay, so the next one on the list, guys, and again, this is probably one that not many people might not have thought about. It's one that before I sort of researched avocados, haha, sir, you got it. Very nice. Absolutely. Avocados, right as I was saying it. All right, gets it right at that last second. Buzzer beater. Exactly. Avocados. Good for you. So avocados are a nice weight loss friendly food, but only if we have it in moderation. And the reason why I say in moderation, it's the exact same thing as whole eggs. It has to be in moderation because of its calories. All right. Again, if we're eating too much of it, all right, it's just going to increase our calorie intake. But the thing is with avocados, take a look at the amount of calories in half an avocado. It's not as much as you think. All right. It's probably not as much as you think. It's not as much as I thought it was. All right. But the one thing is, all right, they're not too bad in calories. All right. They're moderate. Let's say at the worst, they're moderate in calories. Okay. So they kind of got that covered. Remember, we want our 3. All right. So they're covered there. But they are super nutrient dense. All right. That's hence their superfood quality. All right. And also very high in fiber. All right. Higher in fiber than a lot of people thought before. All right. So they're very filling in that way, very satiating. So very, very filling. All right. So moderate in calories, almost it's like low to moderate in calories, I would say, guys. Like I said, take a look at the calories in an avocado. It's not super high. All right. Very nutrient dense and a good source of fiber. Even more, super loaded, all right, in healthy fats. So what are the healthy fats that are found in avocados? Well, mainly it's monounsaturated fats. Okay, so it's not the bad type of fats, it's the good type of fats, similar to whole eggs. All right, remember, we want polyunsaturated fats, monounsaturated fats. Monounsaturated fats are actually quite filling. That's why avocados are so good, because they're so satiating. They're super high in monounsaturated fats. All right, remember, we want monounsaturated, omega-3, omega-6, omega-9s, those types of fatty acids. Stay away from your saturated and trans fats, but they're very high in healthy fats. Okay, monounsaturated in oleic acid, all right, which we know are very, very filling. All right, so avocados are a great choice, guys. The nutrients found in them, okay, not just the micronutrients. We know, as I already said, the micronutrients are, again, off the charts, super nutrient dense, but the macronutrients, all right, healthy fats, all right, the monounsaturated fats, the fiber, even a tiny little bit of protein, all right, excellent for keeping us satiated and not increasing blood sugar levels, all right, or at least reducing the absorption of blood sugar into the glucose or anything along those nature into the bloodstream. All right, so you're going to be preventing blood sugar spikes. Avocados, sorry about that. Avocados go bad fast. If you want them to last a little bit longer, you can throw them in the fridge, maybe put them in a container, but they can go bad fairly fast. Usually I'll just wait until I know I'm going to be using them up. For me, it's never really an issue. Every now and then it might be, but I tend to go through them quite quickly, or someone else might enjoy them. So they can go bad fairly fast, but just buy enough so that you know that they don't go bad. And if you're going to be using them, that's when I would go for the unpeeling. But I can go through them fairly fast, so I don't generally have a problem with them going bad. But you're right, just be careful with that. All right, so I think they're a very, very good source. Maybe one of the best foods again. Maybe not a superfood, sort of like beans and legumes or whole eggs or the cruciferous vegetables, but an excellent source, an excellent food choice when it comes to weight loss friendly foods, loaded with healthy fats, monounsaturated oleic acid. Doesn't get better than that. That's super heart healthy too, by the way. So a lot of other health benefits when it comes to avocados. Super high in nutrients, all right? And very filling because it's a great source of fiber, all right? And again, we know this from many different studies, how they're not only high in fiber, all right, and have a little bit of protein and healthy fats, but just that combination of nutrients, just how filling that is, how satiating that is, all right? That's what makes them such a great weight loss friendly food. So a lot of people will think, well, I'll eat avocados, but we have to be careful of the healthy fats, or of the fat content, or of the calories to be more specific. I think people are worried about the calories. Again, you don't have to overdo it, right? Half an avocado, all right, isn't going to, automatically put you into a surplus of calories where you're gaining weight, or even put you right at your maintenance. You can still stay in a deficit of calories eating moderation when it comes to avocados. And I really like them because, again, fiber, healthy fats, low to moderate calories, tons of micronutrients. Those, again, are the types of foods that you want if you're trying to lose weight. We don't want those high calorie, low nutrient dense foods. So avocados too, we've seen in studies, and even just with consultations and people that I work with, really make a good sort of afternoon type meal. So maybe something for lunch. A lot of people will put it on toast, or make sort of something like Rupal just brought up, and that I'm reading here, on bread, like a sandwich. I think that's a great idea. So a lot of people will have it sort of for lunch. I think if you pair it up with a healthy protein, so a lean protein source, I think that's excellent, because what Rupal is sort of suggesting here, and use like a healthy bread, guys. Don't be scared of bread. A lot of people will be scared of bread when it comes to weight loss. You have like whole wheat bread or something along those lines, Ezekiel bread. There's tons of other good ones. But don't be scared of bread when it comes to weight loss. That's something I should probably point out as well. All right, a lot of people will be scared of bread, and that's been coming for a long time, since the low carbohydrate craze. But carbohydrates, as long as we're underneath our calorie maintenance, we're fine. And whole wheat bread has a ton of micronutrients as well. All right, again, just keep it in moderation. But if you can pair that up with a lean protein source, even better, because it's going to slow down the absorption rate of the food, all right, and it's not going to spike insulin levels whatsoever. All right, you might get a moderate, minor spike, all right, but it's going to help keep you satiated throughout the day, because you're adding that protein source in there too. So getting that fiber from the avocados, those nice healthy vegetables, you got onion, garlic, you got tomato, whole wheat bread's not going to spike too much. Right, and then a protein source. Again, you're going to be satiated, you're going to feel full, and that's going to help keep you satiated and full throughout the afternoon into dinner time. All right, and then again, people will have that afternoon crash. I know I have. All right, if you're not eating the right foods, all right, at the right times, then we're going to be getting that crash. And that crash can lead to some interesting or unwanted food choices, all right, very high calorie food choices. And those are the ones that we're going to want to stay away from. Okay, now let's go through another one. All right, and let's go into a drink here, because we've talked about a lot of foods. All right, this one you don't see on too many lists, and it's not apple cider vinegar. If you want to, you can use apple cider vinegar. All right, I think the thing about apple cider vinegar, we know it's not going to melt away body fat. Okay, or it just can't. Even the studies might show that you're losing belly fat from apple cider vinegar, but what apple cider vinegar can do, and there has been a few studies on this as well, is that it can increase satiety. All right, what's satiated means? Yes, it means feeling full, RuPaul. So satiated just means full or satisfied, like you don't need any more food. So when I say satiated, it just means exactly the feeling of being full and satisfied. Like you don't need to reach for any more food or to eat or snack or anything like that. But with apple cider vinegar, just real quick, guys, because I don't want to come off like I'm just bashing apple cider vinegar. And if you're taking apple cider vinegar, you should stop immediately. All right. Just be careful with overdoing it, for one. You don't need to overdo it with apple cider vinegar. Okay, but it does have benefits, obviously. All right, just one of the ones, I guess maybe a pet peeve of mine, is just when it's promoted as being able to melt away belly fat. All right, if you drink a shot of apple cider vinegar, it'll melt away belly fat in the morning. It can increase feelings of satiety. It can. We've seen it in a couple studies. All right, now, to what degree is the question? All right, some of these studies will actually throw out calorie numbers, so it made people eat 200 less calories than people who didn't eat apple cider vinegar. That's going to be dependent on the individual. The important thing to keep in mind isn't how many is the exact number of calories that you're going to eat. That's fewer. It's just important that we know that it can help keep us feeling full, and it can help us with eating fewer calories throughout the day and keep us from snacking throughout the day. That's the important part. I think when you start really getting into the specifics, people can tend to cling on to that. We don't know exactly how it's going to affect our body. We don't know exactly if it's going to be a 200 to 250 calorie deficit just because you took a shot of apple cider vinegar. All right, you might be living a lifestyle where you're more active throughout the day, so you're going to be eating more calories because that's going to increase your metabolism and it's going to make you feel more hungry. All right, there's certain other aspects that come into play when it comes to the amount of calories that we're going to be eating. Also, people's calorie maintenance or their quota of calories is going to be different. So it's going to affect individuals and have a greater effect for some individuals than others. So just with apple cider vinegar, know that it can increase feelings of fullness, increase feelings of satiety, all right? And it can reduce blood sugar spikes. So that is important when it comes to weight loss. So again, that's why I don't want to come off like apple cider vinegar hater or anything like that, but just know it's not going to melt away belly fat, and it's not going to be the miracle drink that it's usually touted as to decrease body fat after a couple of weeks just by drinking it. You need to make the lifestyle changes and have the balanced diet to go along with it to really see the effects, the positive effects of it. Okay? One other drink I think that's important. So we got apple cider vinegar. All right, we got that out of the way. Another one, all right, that's going to be good for us is green tea. So green tea drinkers, all right, anyone who enjoys green tea, all right, green tea is going to be a nice one for weight loss. All right, again, would I put it up there as the best? Probably not. All right, and you need to, for it to really have its weight loss abilities. And usually when people will make, it's kind of funny to me when people tout it as a miracle drink that'll melt away belly fat. What they're not telling you is you need to drink like 8 cups of it per day to see a boost in metabolism or something along those lines. But what it is, it can have a negligible effect on metabolism, which we know. But the other nice thing is there's 0 calories in it, and it does have a little bit of caffeine. So as long as you're not super sensitive to caffeine, so maybe you want to drink this in the morning or early afternoon, the caffeine is going to help. We know that caffeine can sort of reduce appetite a little bit as well. The other nice thing about green tea is it's a nice switch up from if you're just drinking water. Okay, we've seen it, people kind of like having alternatives to water. So green tea makes a nice alternative. Another nice alternative for a drink is lemon water. Okay, and the nice thing about lemon water, if you're going to drink lemon water, guys, especially for weight loss, you don't hear this a lot, but I make sure to point it out in every live stream that I do and in videos if I'm talking about it. Make sure that you squeeze the lemon in there. All right, squeeze the lemon juice in there so that you get a little bit of the pulp, a little bit of the fruit actually in the drink as well, so that you're drinking some of that pulp. All right, because that pulp, a little bit of the fruit, all right, is going to increase your fiber intake. All right, and specifically pectin. And pectin is a unique fiber. All right. It's not often that we find that, especially in fruits. So we want that in there, okay? Because you're getting good benefits, detox benefits from the lemon water. It's enjoyable. Some people find it sweet tasting, so it'll be satisfying in that sense. But it'll also be filling if you're squeezing it in there and you're getting some of the pulp, that pectin, that fiber in there. All right, that's a nice way of doing it. Okay, so I wouldn't necessarily juice it or, where people will kind of twist it or just buy straight lemon juice. I would squeeze it in there, guys, so that you're getting some of the fiber benefits out of the lemon as well. Okay, so there is some nice drinks out there. Apple cider vinegar is a good one. All right, excuse me. Apple cider vinegar, green tea, lemon water. But again, those are healthy and nice alternatives to water. All right, it's not that they're magical drinks that are going to allow you to just automatically lose body fat. It's just that they're a nice addition, and some of them even have fiber in it, like the lemon water. And we know that apple cider vinegar, just like lemon water, is going to help reduce blood sugar spikes, which is very helpful when it comes to weight loss as well and feeling more satiated. We should also point out that if you want to lose weight, guys, maybe this is the most important thing. All right, as I'm talking about drinks and lemon water and green tea, then tea bags. Sorry, Rupal, do you mean lemon water or green tea? Sorry. Maybe I'm just let me know which one you're referring to. But maybe the most important thing, guys, as we're talking about these drinks, if you want to lose weight, all right, another important thing is that we need to make sure that we're staying hydrated. All right, so we need to make sure that we're drinking enough water. All right, you guys have heard that I've been drinking water this whole entire time. Why? Because if we're dehydrated, what usually happens is people confuse dehydration with feelings of hunger. So there's been multiple studies that I've done, and I've just seen it with my own eyes working with individuals, talking to individuals, all right? The more dehydrated, so the less amount of water they're drinking, all right, they're telling me they're always feeling hungry, all right? They're always feeling hungry, and then they'll turn to snacks, or they'll have their cheats at nighttime because they really only drank a glass of water, so they're dehydrated. If we want to lose weight, all right, if we want to have foods we can add all these foods in there, but if we're chronically dehydrated, guys, a lot of these foods aren't going to help us because we are going to be hungry, feeling hungry still. All right, and we need proper hydration, all right, to lose weight. If we're dehydrated, all right, again, energy is going to be zapped. All right, we're not going to be feeling satiated. We're going to have the exact opposite feeling, actually. All right, and drinking water can actually help us to feel more full. all right, which is amazing. All right, so if you're feeling hungry, drink a glass of water. All right, it's going to help you to feel more full. Green tea bags, or green tea loose leaves better than... I don't think so. I think you get either one, RuPaul. In my opinion, there was that loose leaf fad that went on for a little while, but I think green tea bags are just as good. And I find them cheaper where I am as well. So tea bags are just fine, in my opinion, if you want to have them. And they're just easier for me as well, so I can just drink them easier. But there's nothing wrong with green tea, drinking it from tea bags. But I know, just like anything, there's fads and things that are popular. Loose leaf tea was really popular. It got really popular. Not quite as popular now as it was, but both are good choices. If you have loose leaf, that works. If you have tea bags, that works too. The important thing is you're drinking the green tea. White tea to a certain extent as well, but green tea is kind of the one you want because that has some special antioxidants, EGCG, some nice things in there. No problem. My pleasure. So make sure you're drinking your water, guys. All right, it's very important that we're staying hydrated when it comes to losing weight. All right, and then again, losing weight, losing body fat, that's just one of those things that we need. Like Sir just said, our bodies are made up of a bunch of water. Again, and most people who are actually dehydrated and chronically dehydrated, we know that a lot of the population is. It's interesting. Most of the consultations I do, I'm shocked at just how little water most people are drinking. And again, that's not in a judgmental way. That's just a thing that we need to address. All right, we need to be kind of mindful of it. People aren't really mindful of how much water they're drinking per day. So if you're drinking enough water, or if you're not drinking enough water, that's something that we want to make sure that we know. Because like I said, if you're not drinking enough water, you could be confusing dehydration with feelings of hunger. All right, and we see it all the time. And a lot of the times what happens is people are dehydrated, they're chronically dehydrated, and those people are usually the ones who are cheating at nighttime, snacking at nighttime, going for the late night snacks. All right, and that's the things that we want to stay away from. They're good throughout the whole day. All right, they're sticking to their diet, they're in a deficit, but they're not drinking enough water, and then they're feeling those feelings of hunger pains, things like that, and then they reach for the snacks at nighttime, and then they're over their surplus of calories. So again, that's something that we don't want, guys. Make sure you're drinking your water. All right, and you can do that in a number of ways. Remember, we just brought up a couple of drinks, and I'll give you some other ones, guys. So if you're bored of water, again, I usually just drink water, or I'll drink turmeric and green tea, lemon water from time to time, but it's usually water and turmeric, green tea, things of that nature. But some other ones would be like the green tea, would be like the lemon water. You could have lemon and lime water, which is a nice mix, very refreshing. Another nice one is cucumber water. There was a time where I was drinking cucumber water pretty much every single day. Nice antioxidants in that. It's refreshing. So if it's warm outside, I'll enjoy that. And then the nice thing with cucumber water is you can just eat the cucumbers after. So it's a nice 2-for-1. You're hydrating and you're getting some vegetables in there as well. But I really liked cucumber water. I'm kind of off that right now. I'll switch it up every now and then, but cucumber water, underrated, and you're getting enough. Now let's get to our next food here. All right. Now this one we have to make sure, all right, that we're eating in moderation. And this is probably one a lot of people don't think of when they're thinking of weight loss, guys. All right. A lot of the times people don't correlate this type of food with weight loss. They actually think they correlate it with weight gain. Sir, I have no opinion on that, sir. I haven't read anything on that. I've heard of that, but no opinion. So on this one with nuts and so the foods that we're going to talk about are nuts, and you could add seeds in there. All right, but the reason why people don't necessarily think of nuts like almonds like some of the ones that I'm going to bring up here, is because they see them as high calories and high in fat. But remember, to lose fat, all right, you need healthy fat in your diets. All right, so a nice healthy fat, we already talked about whole eggs. We already talked about avocados. Another nice one are things like almonds, walnuts, things of that nature. All right, they make what I did for a couple clients. If someone's really feeling hungry at nighttime, a couple almonds, all right, is really all you need to be satiated. All right, when I eat almonds, I tend to eat 8 to 10 at a time. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but if you eat any more than that, all right, and say you have walnuts throughout the day, like I told Jay earlier, I had 3 Brazil nuts. You don't want to be eating them. Too many of them at one time. You want to be keeping them moderate or low. So I'll tend to eat 8 to 10 almonds. Usually at nighttime, I'll have walnuts or almonds. They're very satiating, and I'll tell you why here in a second. And I start my morning off with almonds or walnuts. It depends. Usually it's been almonds as of late, so I'll just say almonds. So what I'll do is I'll start the morning off with almonds, and then I'll usually end my day off with almonds as well. Okay, you can use them as a snack. Just make sure if you are snacking with them, keep them in moderation. I cannot stress that enough. And again, this is why they're such an excellent snack, or you can have them in the morning or at nighttime. Again, in moderation, because they have all of those nutrients that we're looking for a weight loss friendly food. All right, they're good in healthy fats. All right, we know that they're good in healthy fats. Again, keep them in moderation, but they're also a good source of protein, which a lot of people forget. Almonds have quite a bit of protein, more so than walnuts. Almonds are a good source. Brazil nuts, same thing, moderate protein, similar to walnuts. But also, with the ones that I've mentioned, great source of dietary fiber. Okay, so great source of dietary fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. And so they're going to be filling. They have those nutrients that we want again, guys, protein and healthy fats. And the other thing with these healthy nuts like almonds, walnuts, Brazil nuts, those types of things, all right, very, very nutrient dense. People always underrate almonds and things of that nature when it comes to vitamins and minerals. Okay, so again, if you can keep them in moderation, these can be really, really helpful for you with weight loss. One, they're going to help keep you full. One, we've seen studies that they promote weight loss because of their ability for being satiated and keeping you full. All right, and they have all the nutrients that we want. All right, protein, fats, which are healthy, and fiber. Just make sure if you're going to eat almonds, quick little tip here, guys. If you're going to eat almonds, eat them with the skin on, that thin brown skin, because that's where most of the antioxidants are. So just a quick little tip. A lot of people will kind of rip that off or have blanched almonds and things of that nature. Eat them with the skins on, guys, because that's, like I said, that's where some unique and potent antioxidants are found in that skin. So we want to eat them with the skin on, guys. Okay. So I think those ones are great. Just remember, eat them in moderation. If we overeat, all right, you're going to put yourself in a surplus of calories. And we already know calories in versus calories out. If you're in a surplus, you're not going to lose weight. You're going to do the exact opposite. You're going to gain weight. If you're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight. But again, we need those healthy fats in our well-balanced diet. And again, that's for any diet. Doesn't matter if you're vegetarian, vegan, on keto. Keto, you definitely need healthy fats. Paleo diet, anything. A well-balanced diet, you need healthy fats in your diet, guys. There was that whole, again, another fad where people were anti-fat. We need these healthy fats, guys. And if you'll notice, all of the fats that I mentioned today, like avocados, whole eggs, nuts and seeds, all right, they're all healthy fats, guys. All healthy fats. All right, so we want, and these are the ones, again, healthy fats. You could throw salmon in there. I'm not going to as a weight loss friendly food. But just because not everyone enjoys salmon, it can be a little bit higher in calories. It's a little more pricey. But the reason why it can help you is because it has omega-3 fatty acids. You can take a fish oil supplement. That's good too. But if we want healthy fats in our diet, remember, polyunsaturated fat, monounsaturated fat, omega-3s, omega-6, omega-9s. All right, salmon and most fish oil supplements, all right, will give you omega-3s and omega-6s. Just make sure it's a good ratio. All right. And then there's even some supplements out there with omega-9s, but omega-3, omega-6, two really, really important ones. All right. So make sure nuts and seeds. For seeds, I'd go pumpkin seeds. And maybe if I was to make another one, let's say we could choose two, I would probably pick pumpkin seeds and chia seeds. Again, just make sure it's in moderation. Maybe not even chia seeds. Maybe I would definitely go pumpkin seeds. The reason being is they have a ton of fiber in them, so they're very filling. Whereas the chia seeds are as well. They're just not quite as versatile. You'd have to add them to salads or smoothies or things of that nature. You really can't grab and eat them. So pumpkin seeds for sure. If you're going to use them in like a smoothie or in salads or anything like that, chia seeds are a good one too. Just because, again, they're fiber and protein. All right, people are always, maybe flax seeds. Maybe I'd go with ground flax seeds as well. They're underrated when it comes to protein. They're very underrated when it comes to fiber. Flaxseed is very, very high in fiber and in protein. So again, those are the nutrients that we're looking for, guys. Excuse me. Yes, fish oil. Exactly, Rupal. Fish oils, those are going to be important for us when it comes to healthy fats. Again, people forget fish oil is great. Fish oil is not only healthy fat, but it gives you so many health promoting abilities, guys. So many health promoting abilities when it comes to our overall health. Everything from heart health to joint health. Really, really good for us. I say, I think I said it maybe in the last live stream. If you're going to supplement with anything, we were talking about arthritis. Vitamin D was important for joints. I was saying how vitamin D and then maybe a fish oil were two of the more popular supplements that you could have. All these foods mentioned are great cleansers. Well, thank you, Rupal. And hey, Tammy, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for coming in. Really appreciate it. Halloween pumpkin seeds roasted. Yeah, exactly. And that's what most people will be reminded of, pumpkin seeds, like Halloween time eating them. But yeah, pumpkin seeds are a great choice. Just make sure you're having them in moderation, guys, okay? So nuts and seeds, great for weight loss. Remember, they have our three things that we're looking for. All right? The one, not so much, okay? But one of the other ones, which I'll bring up here in a second, and you'll know what I mean, okay? So they're not low in calories. They're actually high in calories, but they're good in healthy fats, which we need. But they are very nutrient dense. They are a good source of fiber, and protein, so two nutrients that are good for keeping us satiated. All right, but the other thing is, all right, as long as we're eating them in moderation, we can keep them low in calorie. All right, remember what I said. I have 8 to 10. That's not a ton of calories, guys. I think 8 to 10 is something, I don't even know what it is, but I think it's lower than 100 calories. I think it's like 80, to be honest. So it's not a ton of calories as long as you can keep it in moderation. All right, and moderation is the key because if we want to lose weight. All right, we want to lose weight, and then once we lose weight, that's when we can really start attacking belly fat. We can't attack belly fat unless we're losing body fat. In general, for sure. I'm not so sure about weight loss, Rupal, but magnesium is involved with like hundreds of bodily processes. So I know a lot of people will take that at nighttime too to kind of relax and help them sleep. But I'm not 100% sure when it comes to weight loss, how good it is. Haven't read anything on those studies, but I do know a lot of people who will take it as a supplement. And like I said, magnesium is involved in tons of bodily processes, very heart healthy. And again, a lot of people will have it at nighttime, kind of to relax and things of that nature. I think I read something, a couple studies showing its ability to help with sleep. So that might be one that you guys might want to try when it comes to magnesium. But maybe speak with your medical practitioner with that one first, just to make sure it's all right with you. Any supplement, I would speak with your medical practitioner just to get the correct dosages. I can't do that obviously through chat or anything like that, but definitely your medical practitioner can. Now another one, let's get another good one in here, guys. All right, another one, okay, is we mentioned fruit, but I wanted to make sure, and chia seeds are very good for we mentioned, remember how I said pumpkin seeds and chia seeds? Chia seeds we know are one of the best for weight loss. So don't underestimate chia seeds either, guys. Now, there was one fruit I wanted to bring up when it came to weight loss. One that's emerging, maybe I'll give you two here. One that's emerging, now take this with a grain of salt because I haven't done a ton of research on it, but there's one emerging and that one's kiwi, okay? All right. Kiwi, in the mornings, they're finding can help with weight loss. I think it's with being full, and it's got some sort of extract that can help. Again, take that with a grain of salt. I would put that almost in line with like your apple cider vinegar and things of that nature. Another one that I would put in there, guys, for weight loss, and this fruit has actually there's multiple studies which are it's being studied for its weight loss benefits, which I couldn't really find any with having to do with apples. I don't know if you'll find much with pears, but the other one is grapefruit. So let's highlight grapefruit, guys. Take that into consideration as well. I used to eat grapefruit in the morning because of these studies. This was a long time ago. This is when I was just getting into nutrition. So I've known about grapefruit and fat loss for quite a while now. Its potential to help with fat loss. I don't think it's a miracle by any means. I don't think if you eat grapefruit, and again, we're talking about raw grapefruit, guys, not grapefruit juice or anything like that. Raw grapefruit. Again, I'm not saying that if you eat grapefruit, then you're going to automatically lose weight, but there has been studies where it does have positive effects on controlling weight and maintaining weight. Can help. The one good thing that I think I remember reading was that it could help reduce insulin resistance and can sort of help boost metabolism so that you're burning calories throughout the day. And that's what was one that I read a long time ago. Like I said, I think 10 plus years ago, maybe even before I started the channel, I was eating grapefruit. Now for me, I remember I'd have to put a little bit of stevia on top, almost like a natural sweetener. Just for me, I didn't particularly enjoy the taste of grapefruit. So sometimes you might have to throw a little bit of, I'd throw stevia, for me worked. But if you like grapefruit, that's a great one for you. I would have that fruit as well. I specifically left it out of the other ones just because grapefruit has been studied on its own for its weight loss promoting abilities. So grapefruit can be another nice one for you guys. And I would have it in the morning. That's when the studies really showed that it can help with satiety, can help prevent blood sugar spikes, and release of insulin, all of that stuff that we don't want, especially in the mornings, all right, leading into the afternoon and all of that stuff. All right, so grapefruit is another great choice. And again, I would have it in the morning. If you like it, again, have it raw. I'm not speaking about grapefruit juice, or when I say apple juice or apples, no apple juice or anything like that. I'm talking about like the raw fruits. All right, those are what we want. And I think if you're doing that, then you're getting the most benefits out of it. Again, you're going to get good fiber out of grapefruits as well. Okay. And it's low in calories, all right, which is very nice. And again, you don't have to eat the whole grapefruit. I think I used to eat half a grapefruit, and I do believe that's what the studies were showing. half a grapefruit had good benefits for being satiated and for being a weight loss friendly food. So again, you can keep it in moderation and still get the benefits out of it, which makes it even better. So if you're into the grapefruit and you like that, if you're a grapefruit fan, have raw grapefruit. Again, I needed to have it with stevia. All these years later, I still remember that. Isn't that funny? Because I haven't had grapefruit in the morning in a while. But yeah, you guys can definitely add that if you do enjoy grapefruit. I know it was really popular in the 90s too. Like it's been popular for a while. Having grapefruit, it was like grapefruit and egg white omelets. That was the big thing because everyone was scared of fat. But grapefruit and like egg white omelets, I remember being really, really popular. So that's one that I would do. So let me take a quick sip of water here, guys. I'm doing what I'm saying. I'm trying to stay hydrated here. There we go. So yeah, I would add grapefruit to that list of fruits. Remember, berries are going to be a friend. Berries are a great one. Apples were a good one. Pears, my list would go berries and grapefruit, then apples, then pears. Okay, and that's based on their fiber intake, their nutrients, their calories, things of that nature. All right, but I think just don't overdo it on fruit because remember there is natural sugars in fruit, but it does have fructose and glucose. Yeah, sir. Instead of Owens. Yep. Yeah, and that's why I do always get people to make sure that they do discuss with their medical practitioner. Again, it's hard for me sometimes. Obviously, I can give the knowledge, but sometimes, people will be looking for a diagnosis or something like that. I just can't do that on here. It would just be very irresponsible. But point taken, absolutely. Yes, and the 70s. Yes, exactly. Back then, grapefruit and egg whites. People, again, that anti-fat movement. We saw people were staying away from the whole eggs. Now people are back on the whole eggs. They're back on whole milk. They're back on butter. Whereas before you were seeing margarine. I haven't seen anyone eat margarine in forever. Like it's been a super long time. Well, man, we have been talking for over 2 hours about the best foods to lose weight and to attack belly fat. I want you guys to understand the best way to lose weight, again, even through diet, have a little bit of movement in there as well. Remember, we always sort of recommend 150 minutes per week, so it doesn't have to be too much every single day. And it doesn't have to be super high intensity, So you can go out for a walk, and that's 100% fine. All right, go for a nice walk, enjoy the weather, go with a significant other, a friend, doesn't matter. Enjoy a walk with someone. Go by yourself if you enjoy that, want your own time. Again, it can be a walk outside 150 minutes per week. All right, and if you're doing that, that's going to help with the weight loss as well. But for these foods, again, consistency is key. Just making sure that we're consistent in our diet, consistent with these healthy foods. All right, making sure that we're always consistent. And we're, because if we're losing consistency, if we have 1 or 2 bad nights in a row, if you were in a calorie deficit for a couple of days, then you go over into a surplus. You just got rid of those days where you're in a nice deficit and you're on your way to weight loss. So we want to stay consistent because that consistency with weight loss is going to lead to body fat loss, which will eventually lead, we hope, to belly fat loss. Okay, so always keep that in mind, guys. Yeah, walking's great. I think walking is very underrated. People think if you're exercising or movement, you need to have something super intense or running. But just getting out for a walk and enjoying the weather is absolutely great, not only for our physical, but for our mental as well. All right, so make sure, try to get in that 150 minutes, guys, because it is important that we do get some movement in also. Now, I hope you guys enjoy the hazelnuts video that I did today. Put that up. I thought it was a very interesting video, so give that one a watch. I hope you guys enjoyed this discussion on weight loss friendly foods and how to lose belly fat, dispelling some myths that are out there. Again, we went for 2 hours. All right. I know, I really appreciate it. It's funny. I don't know how many thumbs up are up there. For some reason, mine hasn't been moving. It's been staying at 7. I do hope some people were hitting the thumb up button and were enjoying the chat and learning something from it. If someone could let me know, that'd be nice. But I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. All the thumbs up, all the comments, just watching the videos and commenting, all the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Rupal. I appreciate that. Shout out to Deborah for the super chat. So Deborah, when you're watching this later, thank you so much again. Really appreciate it. 30 thumbs. We made it to 30. Awesome. That's always the goal. I always try to see if we can get to 30 thumbs up, Rupal. So thank you so much. That's awesome to know that we made it to 30. Thank you, guys. And it wasn't even promoting it. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, guys, that we hit 30 thumbs up. Like I said, 41 thumbs up? Wow. Is it at 41, AI? If it's at 41, that's by far a new record for us. Hey, and my pleasure, guys. Everyone who's saying thank you right now, like AI, Rupal, my pleasure. My pleasure is speaking with you guys. I always like coming, having an interesting chat. You know, the chats always end up interesting to me because they all can go a bunch of different ways because you guys bring them up. Once you guys start asking and you guys start bringing things up, it helps kind of lead me in a different direction sometimes and it'll remind me of certain things. Well, thank you, AI. I appreciate that. But, you know, it leads me in certain directions that I might have forgotten about and that I can speak about. So thank you so much for all the engagement, guys. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. I'm glad that you guys found this chat helpful. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, if I can go on for 2 hours talking about the best foods for weight loss and belly fat, you know that I definitely enjoyed it and speaking with you. Absolutely, sir. You are 100% right. And thank you for all your comments today, leading chat. Same with you, AI, Rupal. I wish I could scroll up. We had Tammy in here. I can't get any higher than that. But AI, Sir, Rupal, everyone else that was in chat today. Again, I hope everyone has a great Mother's Day or is having a great Mother's Day and is enjoying their day, their Sunday. Again, I always enjoy these chats. We will be back next on Wednesday. Wednesday may be a little bit earlier or later. Okay, so it might be, I haven't quite decided yet. Today was 12:30, so it might be a little bit around that time. Okay, maybe a little bit later. The important thing is you will always get a notification of when the time is going to start. So it could be at like 11, 10:30. It might be at 1. But just know that you'll get a reminder of when that chat will be. So whatever time it's going to start at, you guys will have lots of notice before. So lots of notice to make sure that you guys know exactly when it'll start on Wednesday. Okay, the only thing I know for sure is it won't be 12. But we will figure it out and we'll make sure we get our chat. And we'll have another interesting topic to go over. All my pleasure, Tammy. Rupal, thank you, sir. Like I was saying, thank you, Tammy. Everyone have a great, healthy, safe day. And I will talk to you live next on Wednesday. And be on the lookout for those daily videos. And thank you so much for the thumbs up. I appreciate it, guys. All right. And I'll talk to you Wednesday. And like I said, be on the lookout for those daily videos. They won't stop. All right, guys. Enjoy your day. Take care. And we'll talk